military and economic freight was carried by rail. After the war, numerous sections of the Autobahns were in bad shape, severely damaged by heavy Allied bombing and military demolition. Furthermore, thousands of kilometers of Autobahns remained unfinished, their construction brought to a halt by 1943 due to the increasing demands of the war effort. 12:13. Polish army tanks riding to Berlin sing the German Autobahn at the end of World War II in 1945. A 3 in 1991 West Germany, 1949-1990. In West Germany, FRG, most existing Autobahns were repaired soon after the war. During the 1950s, the West German government restarted the construction program. It invested in new sections and in improvements to older ones. Finishing the incomplete sections took longer, with some stretches opened to traffic by the 1980s. Some sections cut by the Iron Curtain in 1945 were only completed after German reunification in 1990. Others were never completed as more advantageous routes were found. An example is Strecke 46 between Bad Brucknau and Gemünden am Main on the Fulda-Verburg route, which was replaced by the A7. East Germany, 1949-1990. The Autobahns of East Germany, GDR, were neglected in comparison to those in West Germany after 1945. East German Autobahns were used primarily for GDR military traffic and for state-owned farming or manufacturing vehicles. The speed limit on GDR Autobahns was 100 km per hour, 62 miles per hour. However, lower speed limits were frequently encountered due to poor or quickly changing road conditions. The speed limits on the GDR Autobahns were rigorously enforced by the Volkspolizei, whose patrol cars were frequently found hiding under camouflage tarpaulins waiting for speeders. Reunification, 1990 present day. The last 4 kilometers, 2.5 mi, of the remaining original Rijksautobahn, a section of A11 northeast of Berlin near Garz, built in 1936. The westernmost remainder of the never-finished Berlinker are scheduled for replacement around 2015. 14:15. Roadway condition is described as deplorable. The 25 meters, 82 feet, long concrete slabs, too long for proper expansion, are cracking under the weight of the traffic as well as weather. 16. Length. Germany's Autobahn network has a total length of about 13,192 kilometers, 8,197 mi, in 2021, 17, and a density of 36 motorway kilometers per thousand square kilometers, Eurostat, which ranks it among the densest and longest controlled access systems in the world, and fifth in density within the EU in 2016, Netherlands 66, Finland 3. Longer similar systems can be found in the United States, 77,960 kilometers, 48,440 mi, 18, and in China, 149,600 kilometers, 93,000 mi. 19. However, both the US and China have an area nearly 30 times bigger than Germany, which demonstrates the high density of Germanish highway system. 20. German-built Rijksautobahn in other countries. The first Autobahn in Austria was the West Autobahn from Wals near Salzburg to Vienna. Building started by command of Adolf Hitler shortly after the Anschluss in 1938. It extended the Rijksautobahn 26 from Munich, the present-day A8, however only 16.8 kilometers, 10.4 mi, including the branch-off of the planned Tolen Autobahn, was opened to the public on the 13th of September 1941. 21. Construction works discontinued next year and were not resumed until 1955. There are sections of the former German Rijksautobahn system in the former eastern territories of Germany, i.e. East Prussia, Father Pomerania, and Silesia. These territories became parts of Poland and the Soviet Union with the implementation of the Oder-Neisse line after World War II. Parts of the planned Autobahn from Berlin to Königsberg, the Berlinker, were completed as far as Stettin, Szczecin, on 27 September 1936. After the war, they were incorporated as the A6 Autostrada of the Polish motorway network. A single carriageway section of the Berlinker east of the former Polish corridor and the Free City of Danzig opened in 1938. Today it forms the Polish S22 expressway from Elbing, to the border with the Russian Kaliningrad Oblast, where it is continued by the R516 regional road. Also on 27 September 1936, a section from Breslau, Wrocław, to Liegnitz, Legnica, in Silesia was inaugurated, which today is part of the Polish A4 Autostrada, followed by the single vehicle, Rijks Autobahn 9 from Bunzlau, Bolslowiec, to Zagan, the next year. Today part of the Polish A18 Autostrada. After the German occupation of Czechoslovakia, plans for a motorway connecting Breslau with Vienna via Brunn, in the Protectorate of Bohemia and Moravia were carried out from 1939 until construction works discontinued in 1942. A section of the former Strek 88 near Brno is today part of the D52 motorway of the Czech Republic. Also, there is the isolated and abandoned twin carriageway Borovsko Bridge southeast of Prague, on which construction started in July 1939 and halted after the assassination of Reinhard Heydrich by former Czechoslovak army soldiers at the end of May 1942. Current density. Autobahn 9 near Munich with 8 lanes as of 2021. Germany's Autobahn network has a total length of about 13,192 kilometers, 8,197 mi. 17. From 2009 Germany has embarked on a massive widening and rehabilitation project expanding the lane count of many of its major arterial routes, such as the A5 in the southwest and A8 going east-west. Most sections of Germany's autobahns have 2 or 3, sometimes 4 lanes in each direction in addition to an emergency lane, hard shoulder. A few sections have only 2 lanes in each direction without emergency lanes, and short slip roads and ramps. The motorway density in Germany is 36 kilometers per 1,000 square kilometer in 2016. Close to that of smaller countries nearby, Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, Switzerland, Slovenia. 22. Facilities. Emergency telephones. Emergency telephone directional arrow on Adelimiter. About 17,000 emergency telephones are distributed at regular intervals all along the Autobahn network with triangular stickers on the Araco barriers pointing the way to the nearest one. Despite the increasing use of mobile phones, there are still about 150 calls made each day on average, after some 700 in 2013. This still equals 4 calls per kilometer each year. 23. The location of the caller is automatically sent to the operator. 24. Parking, rest areas, and truck stops. Road kilometer sign on A6, near Mannheim for brakes during longer journeys. Parking sites.
Yes, now I did it again. I did click by mistake. Because I'm still sleepy. I'm always sleepy when I get up in the morning. It's 10:10 a.m. Let's get some lemonade. Oops. That's the Germany highway system, Autobahn. That's south of my country, Denmark. So if I ever get a driver license and a car, I will drive there. Germany is not so far away from Denmark, so that could be a good place. I start learning how to travel alone by car. That's to drive on the German highways. But I think I like to drive on smaller roads because I will record video for YouTube. But of course, if I should go from South Germany up to North and I just need to go fast as possible, then you need the Autobahn, the highway. But if you're just driving around and exploring and relaxing, that's I should drive a smaller roads. But you have this GPS navigators, but I have this European map to look later. But this is from year 2018. I need to buy a new one. That's from year 2008. That's 14 years old, this one. That's the Germany there. We have Denmark up here in Germany. So yes, that's a planner there. So here you have the German Autobahns, like there, yes. But I can look at that later. Not now. Actually, I have a book how you for the driver license. I have to take it. I had it somewhere here. Book for driver license. Now I did not know where did I put it. I should not put this book too far away. I don't know where I did put this book. No, I did buy a book $50 to the driver license, Danish driver license. It was here before, I don't know where I put it. Okay, I did put it there. Yes. That's something I need to read. I have to read this, all the road signs and stuff. Could have it here. No, don't need to put it there, but let's continue. That's fine, that's just there. I can go and get it there. Let's continue. No, I could record video driving on a German highway, then talk a bit. Do that. Need a GoPro. Could have a good GoPro with a big power bank and then a big 256 gigabyte SD card. At last you can record like 10 hours in 1080p. So you can do something like that. But I have to try to get this new GoPro to see how the quality is. Yes, but now we have to read page by page, and I forgot to check my cell phone. Yes. But I'm soon age 60 and I'm early retired, so I'll be an older man when I start driving around. So I think that's better drive some smaller roads. I don't know, but I don't have a car now and I don't have a driver license, so that's not the big problem I have to worry about. but we had to read page by page.
Facilities. Emergency telephones. Emergency telephone directional arrow on a delimiter. About 17,000 emergency telephones are distributed at regular intervals all along the Autobahn network with triangular stickers on the Arco barriers pointing way to the nearest one. Despite the increasing use of mobile phones, there are still about 150 calls made each day on average, after some 700 in 2013. This still equals 4 calls per kilometer each year. 23. The location of the caller is automatically sent to the operator. 24. Parking, rest areas, and truck stops. Road kilometer sign on A6, near Mannheim for brakes during longer journeys. Parking sites, rest areas, and truck stops are distributed over the complete Autobahn network. Parking on the Autobahn is prohibited in the strictest terms outside these designated areas. There is a distinction between managed and unmanaged rest areas. German, Bewirtschaftet /Unbewirtschaftet. Parking sign. Unmanaged rest areas are basically only parking spaces, sometimes with toilets. They form a part of the German highway system. The plots of land are federal property. Autobahn exits leading to such parking areas are marked at least 200 meters, 660 feet, mostly 500 meters, 1,600 feet, in advance with a blue sign with the white letter P. They are usually found every few kilometers. Some oft have their local or historic names. Vorankommen Quartendigung einer Autobahnraststätte in combination mitdem Hinweis auf ein Befreitangsstelle, 1988. SVG. A managed rest area, German, Autobahnraststadt or Raststadt for short, usually also includes a filling station, charging station, lavatories, toilets, and baby changes. Most rest areas also have restaurants, shops, public telephones, internet access, and a playground. Some have hotels. Mandated every 50 kilometers, 31 mi, or so. Rest areas are usually open all night. Both kinds of rest areas are directly on the Autobahn, with their own exits, and any service roads connecting them to the rest of the road network are usually closed to general traffic. Apart from rare exceptions, the Autobahn must not be left nor entered at rest areas. Zekin 448.1, Autohof, STVO 2000. SVG. Truck stops, German Autohof, plural Autohof, are large filling stations located at general exits, usually at a small distance from the Autobahn, combined with fast food facilities and forward/or restaurants, but have no ramps of their own. They mostly sell fuel at normal price level, while at Raststätten fuel prices are significantly higher. Truck stop Scandinavian Park off Thea 7 rest area Dammerberg on Thea 1 rest areas and truck stops are marked several times as motorists approach, starting several kilometers in advance, and include large signs that often include icons announcing what kinds of facilities travelers can expect, such as hotels, filling stations, rest areas, etc. Speed limits. Autobahn with 3 separate lanes in each direction and an emergency lane. Advisory speed limit, Richtgeschwindigkeit, of 130 km /Hun Autobahns. Limits no longer apply. ND Alistrecken Verbot, sign, indicating our turn to the default speed, while lifting all other limits as well. All limits are indicated by round signs with red border, as seen above. 25. GPS tracks colored according to speed show considerable speed differences at an Autobahn crossing. Germany's Autobahns are famous for being among the few public roads in the world without blanket speed limits for cars and motorcycles.